all I'm stressing today. Here in next week's lumber is sold, but Joni's afraid we're gonna have to. I bet she'll sell the lumber, so I think we're worrying about nothing. But there's a chance that the week after next she's gonna have to shut down for Corona. Not because Corona's here or nothing, or not know anybody with Corona or anything like that. You know, it's just that Corona stopped the pipeline. So she said, come up with these jobs. Here's her job. Here's one job we're doing. Just make a mental note of this. Maybe I'll skip around on this. There's a drive on her barn cleaner. Barn cleaner's going to crap, and it's a bad, our design. Maybe I better explain this better for video purpose. Make note of that sprocket size. See how big that drive sprocket is? It's driving a barn cleaner chain. That's a torque arm box. Now, not gonna say I was ever good at this, but in a past life, people's asked me what have I done growing up. This is the type of stuff I done growing up. It wasn't cutting timber. I didn't start cutting timber till I was almost 30. I cut before that, but I didn't cut till I was pushing 28 probably. Before that, I did this industrial maintenance style stuff and truck driving and stuff like that. So, enough background on me. But anyways, so what I'm telling you is none of this stuff is new to me, but I'm not gonna say I'm good at any of it. Before my time, somebody did some pre-engineering on this for this barn cleaner drive, and I'll take you out and show you the chain in just a minute. Just don't click off of me, just give me a second to explain. That's the torque arm box. It's good. Me and back in when I was a kid, Spencer, basically the guy over the top of me back at that time, me and him really fell in love with these torque arm boxes. And the way it works is so here's your big shaft that you're driving that's going down to run that chain. The box, the shaft goes through the box, see through that hole, and them taper them, the Q1 style taper lock type of things, bushings. They'll kind of pinch from each side through a taper joint and bite down tight on this shaft right here. Now the box is kind of wally-cocked and it's offset. All right. What holds the box from spinning is the torque arm, which properly applicated, that's the torque arm in this bag. Properly applicated works fine. If you get lobing from an oddball shaft, it can wear on that torque arm, which we've seen plenty in auger applications, where your torque arm box will sit there and work and finally, or your box will sit there and work and finally tear up your torque arm and falls apart. What I like to do as a backup is I like to use the box and the torque arm to tension my belts. Now you have to be crafty when you're hooking it up to where is that torque arm, see, because this is the shaft that drives it. Right there. See this? Okay. So you got to set it up. You got to figure your application out and set it up to where when your motor pulls and torques, you swing that box to tighten that motor. You see what I mean? So you're tightening your motor belts with the way that, and then you're using. So what you can do is you can double down with your torque arm. So when you're pulling on it, your torque arm will tighten, tension your belts. And then if something ever happens, you break your torque arm or whatever, then it just pulls against your belt tension. You see what I mean? Until you get there and figured out what's going on. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do. I don't know if it's good or not. I'm sure there's professionals out there going to tell me it's wrong, but that's the way I like to do it. Because I like the least amount of moving parts possible. That's what I like. So since it's already engineered, and that's one heck of a box. Jesus Christ, that's overbuilt like 4 times to what we're doing. But whatever. So this is bought back in the day. This is the day I grew up in the timber, in the boom times for our area. In the 90s, before NAFTA, I ain't gonna get political, but before NAFTA, when we was rocking and rolling in this country, red oak was up, probably kind of like nationalism type of thinking. But red oak was up. And then we live in a red oak area. It's back when the public liked red oak. At that time, everybody liked red oak. So it was easy. Using a red oak area, you was cutting a fat hog in the butt. You know what I mean? So we all got to blowing money. We didn't know no better. So anyway, stuff like, I don't know what that torque arm box is worth, but a pile. That's a pile of money right there. And let me take you what we actually use. Okay, let me go. And there's a little copperhead running around here somewhere. I don't know. Couldn't tell. I couldn't see good enough. When I opened the door, there's a little guy in there hanging right by the door, and he wiggled off that way. But I'm about like Eli on that. They all look like copperheads to me. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was a copperhead though, but it might not have been. It's one of them snakes that's easy to confuse the copperhead, but I didn't smell him. Usually you can smell, what do they say, turnips or whatever. They smell. Copperheads smell. They stink. They got to stink to them. But I don't know if it's small snakes are like small humans. You know, they don't got that much smell to them. Small mammals or whatever. Let's see. The belts I needed was 3V. Did I write that down? Yes. Let's see, I think it was 75 to 80 inches. Okay, so here's what I think's going on. Let's go up here. So what we're doing, I know I'm skipping around on y'all, but what the project is we got, this is a nasty part of our sawmill. It's a nasty part of most everybody's sawmill. It's where your sawmill poops, okay? Right now, this concave belt takes out the sawdust from the big band unit inside, okay? And it was over-designed a little bit, and it has this little whip-de-doo in here that I'm gonna take out because it's nothing but a pain in the butt. So during this downtime, I'm gonna try to set one crew up to where we're taking that pulley off, this pulley off, taking a drive up there, taking that pulley out, turning it over, putting this drive on that side up there so you just have one pull. And then taking the framework that runs this belt at an angle to take out this whip-de-doo we got in this belt. So it'll kind of be just a nice gentle roll up. So you take that whip-de-doo's a bad pinch. It's bad in the wintertime. That sucks. That part sucks. Just kind of a bad design. But at the time, Big Dave's like, well, at the time we didn't know. We put that in there because what it is the only way you can take a belt conveyor is run this way and then turn it to raise it up to do a dump in a pile. It's the only way to do that with the belt conveyor, if you see what I mean, without affecting your product. But the problem is, then you dump your product on once and you got to transfer your product over. In the wintertime, you add ice and snow and all that mess and frozen, it adds trouble. So that's a big no-no. So then what we're gonna do, back to the project, this here's a barn cleaner. It takes dust off the floor. So when you sweep up the floor, the dust goes in here. It takes dust off the head saw, takes dust off the edger, and it all comes outside and it dumps in a pile here. Well, we're undermining a building. We get loaders around, start gouging on stuff, and we start screwing up foundations, you know. And these trees look like crap, but they're here. I like them here. I like them roots there in the ground. But we'll eventually, when we get down, we'll take all the trees out. But I like them here for now, because I like the roots holding things still. But we're gonna take this out. We're gonna take this barn cleaner out. I put that free span deal up years ago. It was just, man, we made decisions back then. Whew. You can tell the decisions we was making back then was based off of red oak being up so high. But this is coming out, and I'm gonna take that drive, bring it inside here. Let's crawl inside here. This is not finished either. I got the stuff to make the steps to open that door, come out to that's not done. There's a zillion projects that's undone around here. Oh, a zillion. And I'm saying zillion with a Z instead of billion with a B. So this comes out and goes, dumps, comes back. We call this the crazy corner. This is a nasty little corner. Now it looks like not much, but look at all the mess in the past. This thing gets ripped and pulled up out of the ground easy. So we're gonna take all that out. We got a jackhammer, a hole in this concrete like here. Okay, and I'm gonna make a design that goes down and you can take that big sprocket, slide out like this to tension your chain. Slide back to loosen, slide out the tension, and you drive there. There's Mommy, she's doing her thing. Mommy, we're YouTubing over here. She's cute tubing. Paperworking. Mommy put up the signs for the fire extinguisher today. She's been doing maintenance work too. Yeah, good job, Mommy. You did not already know how to use a drill. Her dad's a carpenter. You don't use a drill to put your screw. Oh, okay. Well, don't ask the guy that knows whatever you do, because that would be empowering me, wouldn't it? Yeah, I've never used one. Not in a zillion billion years. Okay. So anyways, the drive's got to set in here. Got to bust a hole in the concrete, get that sprocket down low. Then we're taking all this out. All this mess is coming out. We're going to reverse this chain. So we got to buy different paddles. But them paddles are wearing down pretty bad anyways. And down here, if you can see that belt outside. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. See that belt out there through that crack? It runs underneath my feetsies in a tunnel, heading right back to that band unit. So somewhere down the ground right here, we're gonna reach from the underneath and take a torch, cut a hole out, gonna be a bunch of gravel fall. I'm gonna pull this boards out, and then we're gonna jackhammer a hole. So we're gonna make a hole in the concrete right there. So the sawdust, it start out off the edger, because it's gonna be running clockwise or counterclockwise around the mill. Go underneath the edger and pick the first amount of dust up. Come over, come along, because the way it's set is how you sweeping the floor. Sweeping the floor in the barn cleaner. Come past the bandsaw, which it ain't picking up the band dust, it's still this level. Come around, go around the corner, come around and pick up the head saw dust, which is the main volume. And once it picks up a head saw dust, it comes in a straight line, boop, right down that hole, go around the square again. See? So the idea behind this project, if I ain't lost y'all, confused y'all, or confused myself, is we're gonna take from here out, all this mess goes. Our drive has to go right here. We gotta be able to tension it. We gotta be able to utilize that large sprocket, because it's gonna take the surface area of that large drive sprocket down there to grab these chains, because the normal pats have got a tiny drive sprocket. Let me take you over to debarker. It's the same way. Hang on a second. And we'll be going from a left-hand chain to a right-hand chain. So we got to order all new chain paddles, which is going to be probably three grand or so, which is going to be a pile of money. Oh, this project's going to be close to 10. When we get done, you count the labor and you're probably talking 10 to 15. So we're getting ready to blow 10 to 15 grand on this project. But in the wintertime, it's a mess, freezes up mess. Maintenance don't get done out there over that doodad because it's a safety issue. So here we are down here. So here's how the pats work. And here's a little drive, the dinky little drive sprocket. See that? The only reason that dinky little drive sprocket works is because it's going full 360. It's coming out, around, and all the way back. But we're only gonna be doing a 90. Is that 360? Yeah, I think. No, it's a 180. But we're gonna be doing a 90 up here. Yeah, that's doing a 180. So we're gonna be doing a 90. But remember when I told you, remember the size of that sprocket? The size of that sprocket's gonna come into play, because that's gonna give us our surface area we're gonna need to drive a chain. So here we are up on top here. And here's the Jolly Pats. Let me open this baby. This is kind of awkward. No, that is not how this is set up. This has got a big, I assume it's a B belt on him. Let's see what does it say right here? The B63. See, the B is the size of belt, 63 inches long. Yep. I was hoping I'd come up here and I'd find a motor drive on this thing so we can pull the motor off this and drive the other, which I still probably will. And I'll get Chad the electrician involved. Chad's got that electrical brain. He's got electrified brain, that old Chad does. He's you know, I always tell him I'm after his job. Fact of the matter is, I probably couldn't even spell Chad's job. So, we're gonna pull this motor off this and let Chad do his electrical magic. It's a 5-horse Briggs, 1700 RPM. It's 5-horse, 1700 RPM. But I'm willing to bet a lot of that. I need to do some math to see through the gear reduction and all this mess if it's going to drive about right to that gearbox. I have a feeling some of that's been done already, so it should work out, but we'll see. I was trusting he was going to use these pulleys off this thing, and obviously that ain't the case. Any big company you deal with, their main concern is to cover their butt. They never know who they're talking to. What I'm getting at is, Pats, and it's no problem, it's no offense, you know, there's no animosity here. I understand how business works. But they don't want me to do that. They said they don't approve of doing what I'm doing. But you got to go off your experience sometimes. I'm gonna do it anyways. I've worked it out in my head. It's fine. It's heavy duty. I'm gonna build it heavier than what they got it. I'm gonna build a heavier duty product than what they built to start with. So it's gonna have less moving parts, gonna be simpler, heavier duty, more durable, more robust, and I got more surface area for the chain to bite. So the problem that they have, which of course the guy I talk to, when you call on the phone, the guy that answers the phone, he's not gonna be the guy that knows, he's gonna be the guy that works there. You know what I mean? And I could never get to the guy that knows. Where's my keys? So that didn't help me none, but it worked on my confidence, because you know, when you got the big company that don't even stand behind you, that works on your confidence. But it's no, you know, it's not a big thing. You just kind of got to do it. That just means you're on your own. That's all that means. But I usually like to get to talk to a guy that built the company, or that helped build the company, or helped something that's got a set of nuts on him. You can talk to him, and or her, you know. I'm sure there's gals that built barn cleaner companies, but I'm just I'm not sexist, I'm just saying. Talk to that right person to get the right info out of them, you know, and I ain't found that person. I couldn't get through to him on the phone. You just can't, you know, and that's a failure on my part, because of the crafty person that can talk to people properly, which is what I would love to be. That would be one thing I would love to be. Could have busted that firewall. The guy I talked to, I almost just said, you're just a peon. Let me talk to somebody that knows something. Son of a buck. You know what I mean? Of course, he had to go ask somebody. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to whoever you had to go ask. That's the guy I want to talk to. You know, get ready to spend $4 or $5 grand on paddles. I want to talk to the guy that knows. I don't want to talk to you. Man, you don't need it. There's nothing, man, you need to talk about. What you need to do is go to work. Go get your hands dirty so you can answer some questions. I don't need to talk to you. You don't know crap. You know what I mean? You're not helping me, buddy. You know, but you don't want to be cruel like that and mean to people. You know, I was that way when I was a kid. I had to go ask. Of course, I can tell by talking to this guy. I ain't talking to no kid. I'm talking to somebody that should know something if he's working there. You know, but I'm not trying to be arrogant. You know, it just is what it is. So we're on our own on this. So, yeah, something like that. Don't embarrass me, Mom. Okay. So this was my idea. So this was my idea on how to get the feet per minute. I told Joni, let's.
Whose idea? He said, I need the book. I don't have the feet per minute. I said, mark it, paint.
Whatever, Joni, whatever. Just hold the tape measure. Guess what in the tape measure she's got? 15 feet and a half. So it's 30 feet a minute is what this thing runs. It's 15 feet in 30 seconds, so it'll be 30 feet in a minute.
How do you figure crap out when I'm not with you? That's what I don't know. How do you do that?
Way more.
That's why you call me so many times.
Way more efficiently. That's how I figure crap out.
Right across your back. The boy is cold. All right.
Back to the drawing board. Well, we got our notes jotted down. I need to write down the 30 feet a minute. Hang on, let me pull over here. Now, this is the way I always do my notes when I'm starting a project. Here's the only problem. If you're gonna do notes the way I do notes, you better get her jotted down on something pretty quick while it's on your mind, or else you're gonna have it all screwed up. So, all right, let's go over here to the workstation. I'm gonna show y'all how I do my engineering here. Now, I'm sure there's better ways of doing it. I'm sure there's smarter people out there. Let me get you all set up here. And I gotta use my GoPro because I'm having some kind of webcam issues here with the new computer. I ain't got that all the way figured out yet. So let me get you all set up here. Let me wipe your mouth off. Y'all got dirt on your mouth now. All right, can you see all right? I'm gonna do you like this. All right. First, we're gonna need a, get you all down here a little lower. There we go. Oh, I like this. Ooh, I like this. Let me get a pencil. Also, I'm going to share with you all, now there's ways to add algebra to this, and I'm not going to be able to do that. Y'all don't need to know how to get in my phone. All right. There's ways to do this with algebra, but I'm not going to break it down in a long algebraic phrase, partially because I'm not brushed up on my algebra, and it'd take me longer to get my phrase made than what it would to figure out the bonehead way. So here's the bonehead way. We need 30 feet a minute. Feet, minute. I can't figure out feet minutes, I don't guess. Taking y'all down here. In 30 feet a minute. The motor spins at 1750. Okay. Okay. The motor runs, or when you're running straight across the line like we're doing now, it's running at 60 hertz. That means you're flickering 60 times a second. That's what 60 hertz is, okay? You're going back and forth, 60 alternating current. Okay, 30 feet a minute. Now, there's a few things that I know that you all probably don't. Okay, so the gearbox is 25-to-1 ratio. The drive sprocket for the main chain, the pitch diameter, which means the outside where it spins the chain, is 13 inches. Diameter. The driven pulley that's feeding the gearbox is 19 inches. Diameter. The smallest shiv, because I already know I'm pushing the envelope here. The smallest shiv I'm willing to drive that 19-inch diameter sprocket with the X3V belts. That's ×2. I got 2 of them. Now, them X3V belts don't have a lot of surface area, and I don't trust them. I'd rather be using B belts or maybe A belts, but at least B belts. So the smallest sprocket or smallest diameter pulley I'm willing to put on that motor and trust it is going to be a 6-inch diameter pulley, shiv. Okay, so here we go. We got 1750 RPMs on the motor. We got 30 feet a minute driven or 30 feet a minute is what the chain runs. So let's start doing our engineering here. The tatty-tot bonehead engineering. All right. So we got 13 pitch. Can you see the calculator good? 13 pitch, so 13 times pi. That's going to get you your circumference. So that circumference, let's put inches on it. Construction Master Pro's calculator I've always used since I got out of high school. Since I was in high school, actually. I was a nerd. I was one of them y'all picked on. So 40.82 inches, let's turn that into feet. So you got, let me kick the feet again. So you got 3.4 feet is what one rotation is. So let's write that down. Is 3.4 feet. So let's divide 30 divided by 3.4. You son of a biscuit. 330 divided by 3.4 equals. So we need 8.82 RPMs. So let me see without making things confusing. We'll get over here on this side. And this is what the feet a minute equals, is 8.82 RPMs. The gearbox, 25 to 1. So let's take 8.82 times 25, because it's a 25 to 1 ratio. So to get 8.82 RPMs down here on top of the gearbox, I'm gonna have to take that times 25, which equals, let me get this up on the gearbox level. Well, let's just do it here. So it equals 220 RPMs. And we can do the 0.5 if you want to be technical. Let's do the 0.5. Okay. The pulley that's running at 220.5 RPMs is going to be a 19-inch diameter sheave. So let's do 19 times pi. You bastard. Is 59.66 inches. Circumference. Okay, let's call it circumference. Sir, instead of cubic. Okay, so that's inches. Okay, the belt, the sheave we're driving the 19-inch diameter sheave with is going to be the 6-inch diameter sheave. So let's take 6 inches times pi. So we got a 18.84 inch circumference. Okay. So let's divide 59.66 by 18.84 equals. So for every 1 diameter of the 19-inch diameter sheave, the 6-inch diameter sheave is going to spin 3.17 times. So let's take 220, because that's 19. We'll take 220 times 3.17. 220 times 3.17 equals. So we got an issue. The motor, after all this is done, the motor needs to spin at 697 RPMs. We got a dilemma, because our motor spins 1750. Now, we could go with a smaller sheave, but I've already did the math, and with a 4-inch sheave, which I would never run with 3V bells, still is not quite enough to get us down to 30 feet a minute. And that 30 feet a minute is in concrete. So, with what we've been dealt, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drop our hertz down, because 1750 RPMs is at 60 hertz. So we're going to have to, what are we going to have to drop our hertz down, guys? Now that's an algebraic phrase too, but I'm not going to put it together because I'll run myself in a circle. But let's just do it like this. 1750 over 697 equals 60 hertz over what? 1750 divided by 697 equals 2.51. So let's take 60 hertz. 60 hertz divided by 2.51 equals 23.9 hertz. Is what we're going to have out of that motor to run. That's what we're going to have to feed that motor with to run the 6 197 RPMs we're gonna have to have. Now, another thing about this, so we're gonna need a VFD, a variable frequency drive. Now, what that VFD is gonna help us do also is it's a smart drive, and I'm gonna use that for a kick out because I want to fine tune the kick out. I want that thing, I wanna get this sawmill running red oak. And I wanna get it to where it's pumping out as much red oak as possible, and long red oak, so it's making as much sawdust as possible. And I want to see what amps that thing's pulling, which a VFD is smart enough to do. I want to see how many amps that thing's pulling, and I want to kick it up a heavy quarter or a light third. So what that'll do is we'll set our kick out just above anything we're going to get. And what that'll help us do is, since the big dog company didn't agree with what we're doing and decided not to stand behind us, which, no animosity, I'm not got animosity. We're gonna, since we're on this on our own, we're gonna do it this way and take the easiest way we can to not screw ourselves up with our bonehead drive design.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the buttons and leave me likes, comments, stuff. Let me know what's up. And to anybody's wanting logger weight gear, go to loggerweight.com and help yourself at the shop there, and we got all that good mess. Take care of it, and mostly just want to say thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a good one later on.